Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one. And the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline, and if there's anything that isn't quite working for you or anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. Today's video is about when the three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering and non-self start to merge in our vipassana practice. Now, as our vipassana practice deepens, especially through stages like Bhanga Jnana, Sankarupeka Jnana, we will have spent a long time contemplating these three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering and non-self. And as we contemplate those three characteristics for longer and longer, it could be that they start to merge in our perception. So whenever we are perceiving anicca, in that same moment we're also perceiving dukkha and anatta. Whenever we're perceiving dukkha, in that same moment we are also perceiving anicca and anatta. And whenever we're perceiving anatta, in that same moment we are also perceiving anicca and dukkha. They start to merge. We start to see them almost as if they were the same thing. Now, this can be a sign of our practice deepening and our understanding of those three characteristics becoming really profound. But although it can be a sign of our practice deepening, we still want to emphasize one characteristic at a time. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to force the other two out of our awareness. They can still be there in our awareness, but we want to be emphasizing one of them at a time. So either emphasizing anicca, impermanence, or emphasizing dukkha, suffering, or emphasizing anatta, non-self. Now, this can be a really good time to use a little method called the toes. The toes is a wonderful framework that we find in the Pali texts, which gives us many different ways of reflecting on these three characteristics. I've made a separate video about those toes, so if you haven't done so already, I suggest that you go away, watch that video, do the practice, because it's a wonderful tool for really sharpening our perception of these three characteristics. This is also a time where we don't want to be practicing superficially. We want to be practicing to the point of absorption. So if we're emphasizing anicca in any given sitting, we want to be fully absorbed in that characteristic. Again, the other two characteristics can be there in our awareness, but we want to be emphasizing just the one. The same is true if we're emphasizing dukkha or anatta. We want to be fully absorbed in that characteristic. So that's what I have to say today about when the three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, non-self start to merge in our vipassana practice. If there's anything that you're unsure about, if there's anything that's unclear to you, if these three characteristics are starting to merge for you and you're not quite sure what to do with it, then be in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to discuss the details with you one-on-one. But now's the time to get off of those screens, get onto the cushions, let's actually do some practice. There's a remainderless ending of all suffering, so let's not waste time. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis. So I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website so that I can continue to make these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.